strategist and organizational well-being consultant. I am continuing on with talking about stress and resilience with tips, tools, and strategies to help you build a stronger body, a stronger mind, and feel more equipped to deal with whatever it is life throws your way, and help minimize your stress. So today I want to share with you the neuroscience of being innately designed for community and connection. And I've touched on connection, I think in a previous live around stress. But I wanted to take this from a little bit different angle and from the work of Dr. Rick Hansen. And if you follow the personal development space at all, or kind of the happiness space, he's a clinical psychologist that teaches a lot around the psychology of happiness. His work is really fascinating. So some of this is from some of the stuff that I have learned from him. And so from his teachings, Dr. Hansen talks about these 3 core needs that our body needs to be in a state of balance, where it can function optimally and not be in this state of stress. And these 3 things are safety, satisfaction, and connection. So that's what I'm going to talk about to help you stay activated and achieve these 3 states of safety, satisfaction, and connection, so that our body can be in a state of, as he would say, or would be said, homeostasis or in balance, so that we can feel safety and be more comforted and not in this state of stress. I have no idea what I'm saying. So when these 3 are not met, then what's happening is our body is going to be activated into a stress response. And then, of course, we know when we're in a stress response, right? It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? We're stressed, and then we feel, this anxiousness or this fear or this sadness or this anger, or this isolation, or feel depressed or loneliness, or is it because the other way around, we're stressed and therefore so whichever comes first, but generally it's the stressor that's coming first, right? And then that acts because the stressor is the event, and then comes the feelings with it. And sometimes that can be why it's difficult to, because of the emotions that are coming along with the stressor, why it can sometimes be a challenge for our body to not revert back and snap back right after the event. It's because the emotions are lingering, and often the emotions are lingering because they are one of many events that have occurred that are just stacking on. So one prior event that has triggered that emotion and that hasn't been dealt with is now continuing on, and we get this what is known as an allostatic load, right? It's what is the load that keeps building on until there's a breaking point. So I'm going to give you some strategies for not getting to the breaking point by addressing these 3 really important core areas to keep us in our safe zone and out of stress. So how do we achieve these? Feeling safe, having a sense of satisfaction and connection, especially right now when we're all on lockdown and quarantined and out of what is our normal or our typical connection with our community and our usual social outings and that kind of stuff. So addressing safety first. So safety for our body is when we are feeling a sense of peace. So how do we feel a sense of peace? So I'm going to talk about on each one of these, internal and external, or inner and outer. So how do we achieve this safety or this sense of peace for inner safety, right? So one of the tools, or one of the ways that we can do that, is through breath work. Breath work calms our nervous system, and different types of breathing will do different things. So some of the breath work that I teach is to help balance for both sides of the brain. Breath work for achieving this sense of peace, where we can calm our nervous system down really quickly, is just by simply taking 3 to 6 breaths. Nothing fancy about it, other than just making sure your exhales are longer than your inhales, and that helps relax your nervous system. So breath work and just doing 3 to 6 easy breaths is going to help bring calmness into your body, where you'll feel a sense of peace. Another tool for achieving this inner safety is visualization. And with this very specifically, you want to, because again, safety is us feeling like there's a threat, right? Whether it's internal or external. Many of us are feeling really threatened right now and not really safe, whether it's because of financial issues or because we don't know what's going to happen with our health, or with our lifestyles in general. So that is causing a lot of people to feel unsafe. So to bring us back to being in control and knowing that everything that we need to feel safe and satisfaction and connection, to use these 3, is within us. So how do we get to that? So other than calming our nervous system first, because that's always the first thing, and through the breath work, right? So that second thing that I'm saying about visualization is visualize a time when you were strong. Visualize a time when you spoke up, or you took a stand about something and it turned out favorable. And by visualizing these times when there was a situation that was really hard for you, but you survived it. Remembering a time when you just showed really good courage by taking a stand about something, and you know as a result of those things that it's bringing forth these memories that are reminding you how strong you are and how capable you are, and that you can withstand tough times, even though this is new and something that you haven't had to deal with before. So you know that it is within you. Okay, so those are 2 things for inner safety, to get to that place of peace. And then for outer safety, simply just take the right precautions, right? Limiting the kinds of things that we shouldn't be doing that are threatening our safety, our well-being, right? So taking the right precautions, wearing a mask when we're out, or not going out too much, or not socializing, whatever those things are for you. And then the second one is satisfaction. So satisfaction is getting to this state of contentment. So how do we get to contentment? So there's inner contentment, things that we can do within us to feel a sense of contentment. And then there's things that we can do outside of us, externally, that can bring us a sense of contentment. I hope I'm not going to have another night of tongue twisting. So what are those things that we can do for inner contentment? So one of the things that you can do is similar to the visualization that I just spoke about on safety, and that is tuning into some memories that make you feel comforted and relaxed. So for some of us, that goes back to childhood, right? So think about even now, right? Snuggling up to your grandparents or your grandmother, a partner, a pet, right? So for often, when we're embracing others, that is a time for us that we feel really not only safe, but really content, feel really at peace even within ourselves, right? So maybe it has nothing to do with another human, and maybe it's just a beautiful, quiet day all by yourself, out in nature with the warm sun and a nice breeze. maybe it's smelling comfort food, right? I can just think about, my grandmother's house and just smelling some of the foods that she would cook and just like amazing, right? Like how, the smell of family food can just bring us right in and just make us feel so content. So you want to use as much, so with this exercise, with this inner contentment for satisfaction, you want to bring in as many of your senses as possible to help experience that in your body. Okay, so that's a tip for inner contentment. And then what about outer contentment? So I love this one too. It has a whole different energy, but for outer contentment, it's really important to be playful. So being, even in this time when, it might be hard, especially if you're alone, to be playful, right? But being playful, having fun, laughing, pick up the phone and call someone. If you have no one to laugh with, call me, because I can be very entertaining. You will laugh if you are talking to me. And then the reason that, I was like, why am I saying that? The reason that being playful and having fun or laughing, even if it is watching comedies that are clean and fun and uplifting, right? This is activating our feel-good neurotransmitters. And when we have those activated, we can't be in a stress response, right? So they help us feel better. They're very reparative to our body while reducing stress. Okay, so, and the last one is connection. So connection is about love. Love and appreciation more than anything else. So how do we achieve this inner connection of feeling loved, right? And needing to love ourselves more than ever right now, because I know a lot of people are struggling, whether they're alone or with someone else, because people are they're so stressed, which is why I've been sharing all of these tips. So that we can all have more peace and harmony, regardless of what's going on outside of us. We can have that within us. So how do we get this inner connection and with ourselves, right? So understanding and sensing what you're feeling is one of the most important ways to get to this inner connection. Because when we're avoiding and trying to suppress by staying busy and distracted, like Netflix, scrolling on social media, staying busy cleaning, clearly people must be doing that. There's no cleaning supplies in the grocery stores. So whatever those things are, just trying to ignore what we're feeling. And I know why people do this, because there are things you've not felt before, maybe, or you just don't even know what to do with the feelings. So we stay busy and distracted so we don't have to feel them. But then we end up with this void, with this deep sense of loneliness, and then sadness, and like, I don't know what to do with myself, because then, all of that, not really being connected with ourselves, turns out to be feeling anxious and overwhelmed and monkey mind, right? And you can't settle down. It's because you need to come within and settle within yourself through this connection of understanding and sensing what you're feeling. So, okay, so you can develop a meaningful inner connection also by journaling. So, and maybe I really didn't hit on that, but I will. Okay, so by journaling. So, and the journaling is just, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? How is my day? It's talking also, and this can work the same way as journaling, just talking with someone non-judgmental about how you're feeling and what you're experiencing. And then another way of getting this inner connection is through meditation. And you can use a tool for that, meaning an app or listening to something on YouTube, but just sitting quietly, allowing your body to come to a state of calm will allow you then to start sensing and feeling what's going on, and allow your body just to process that out a bit, and just think about what's going on in your mind without all the external stuff coming in. So, and also sitting quietly with yourself. So if meditation is like something you're like, I don't know what that is or how to do that, or I don't want to do that, or I've tried that or whatever, how about just try sitting quietly with yourself, and just focusing inward. Noticing, taking your mind's eye, focusing on what your body's feeling, what you're thinking, and then you can write that down. Writing it down once you're just sitting and noticing can be really cathartic. It can help you just getting a deeper sense of your inner knowing and connecting with yourself for this kind of greater appreciation of who you are. So that's some ways that you can get to that inner connection. All right, so what about outer connection? Because this is what most of us are missing right now, right? So outer connection is through community, and we're pretty limited on our physical ability to do that, to be in the same space with other humans, right? But we can connect through many different ways, through community. So where do you achieve this sense of belonging, right? So many people are doing church services online. There's networking groups, there's coffee hours, there's cocktail parties. Even my son last night was there was some music jam, like DJs from all over the country or whatever were doing little segments in a thing, and he was plugging into that, listening to it, and there's so many ways that we can get a sense of community right now, and it may take some effort. But it also, just even girls, getting on Zoom or whatever, you can do those things, but you can do it through business connections, but you can do it through friends and acquaintances. There's so many ways to stay connected right now. If you need help with that, message me. I will help you with that. So where do you find this sense of belonging? How, who can you talk to either on the phone or via a video chat that brings you a sense of being cared for and supported and appreciated and loved and understood? Because this is about connection, and connection is love. So even though people are tending to physically distance themselves right now, still talking about community, particularly in community settings, obviously, right? Such as the grocery store. What I've noticed is that people feel really compelled to not speak and acknowledge, right? Literally people are the only thing people are speaking is, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I got within 6 feet of you. Or, oh, I have to sneak by you, right? It's not funny, but it's funny. And when I say it's not funny in the sense that people are so fearful, and it just seems so awkward, right? That that they don't even know how to engage with people. And it's even, it surprises me how people can even notice you, recognize you with a mask on. You think you're hiding, right? So, but anyway, the point is, even if you go out to the grocery store or the post office or whatever the setting is, you take your trek out once a week or whatever, don't allow the fear of others or the awkwardness that you're sensing in that energy field to stop you from being in community, to being in connection. Because I know people are wanting to still connect and have conversation, and it's okay. Nobody said you can't talk to anybody, right? Nobody said that you can't be social. Nobody said that you're not allowed to be neighborly, right? So, but we are getting that sense, and we're noticing that. And so what I want you to do is break that pattern. So make an effort to connect to someone when you're passing by them. Hi, how are you? Hope everyone is well. Like whatever those things are, right? A compliment, anything. When I go out, I'm having conversations because I don't get to do that too much. So, I mean, I'm talking now to nobody. I am looking at my video. So, even though I am talking and I am moving, this is not community unless you talk back to me. So, leave me a message. So people will be glad that you did. You need it. They need it. So do it. Okay, so those were the 3 things. I hope they were helpful in some way. Connection, satisfaction, and safety. 3 pieces that we need for our body to be to feel safe and out of stress. So do the work. Be more empowered from within so that you can live with more ease and less stress. All right. Love you guys. I will be back here. Do leave a comment. Let me know which one you liked and which of those little exercises that you're going to do. All right. Bye-bye.